What's up, Giants fans? Back at it with another New York Giants video. And in this video, I want to talk about recent moves made around Big Blue's roster over this past week. It's been a lot of shuffling, a lot of logistics around this. And first off, the Giants set their practice squad. Definitely going to get into some of that. Only two receivers on the initial practice squad with little Jordan Humphrey and Amir Smith-Marset. Neither made the final 53-man roster. Turbo Miller joins them on the practice squad, along with offensive lineman Brian Hudson, Jake Kubis. Defensive lineman, we have Elijah Chapman, who I thought, along with many others, would make the 53. Jordan Riley, a bit of a surprise for me that they kept three interior defensive linemen. And then Elijah Garcia. We'll get to the linebackers in a moment because those were all external players. Outside linebacker, Tamon Fox, Trace Ford, corner D. Williams, safety Raheem Lane, and then the international exempt kicker Jude Mikatamne from Ireland. So, yeah, it was an interesting couple of days. Let's get into the rest of the moves the Giants have made. Before I go any further, folks, make sure to check us out on all of our social media if you like what you watch here on Big Blue Avenue at Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. We appreciate all of your support. So, waiver claims are in. We all know the Giants lost Tommy DeVito to the New England Patriots. That stunk, but we did give them an excellent look at him. DeVito carved up the Pats defense with 3 touchdown passes in less than a full half a play. So I'm not surprised that DeVito was claimed. The Giants go heavy on the secondary, claiming safety Beau Brade off of waivers from the Baltimore Ravens and corner Rico Payton from the New Orleans Saints. First, let's talk about Beau Brade. 2024 UDFA out of Maryland. He's 23, 6 foot, played in 11 games last year, just 3 tackles, but he had 207 special team snaps compared to just 11 on defense. Clearly a special teams guru. Giants were looking for a 4th safety. You know, Anthony Johnson was banged up. They got a little desperate. They signed Kevon Wallace late in the training camp phase. Didn't work out. And then they had Raheem Lane, who they prefer as a practice squad guy. So, you know, Joe Shane liked him coming out of the draft last year. The Giants front office definitely had their eyes on Brade. They couldn't get him as a UDFA. Good depth safety behind Dane Belton. High character kid, smart, good instincts. Definitely like what Beau Brade could bring to the table towards the back end of this roster. Now, Rico Payton, also a UDFA in 2024 out of Pittsburgh State. By the Saints, a little older at 25, 6 feet tall, played in 16 of the 17 games for the Saints last year, had 13 tackles, all of them on special teams with 1 pass breakup. Joe Shane mentioned in a presser earlier this week that he was hoping Payton would get cut last year. That was not the case. He does bring some defensive value. The Giants released Gunnar Olszewski to clear room for Payton, but in order for Payton to stick with the Giants, they had to sign him to the 53-man roster, and they put him on short-term IR. Well, he'll miss at least the first 4 weeks, and they brought Olszewski back on the 53. Other moves for Big Blue. Giants add 2 of their first 5 external practice squad players, linebacker Swayze Bozeman and safety Patrick McMorris. So Giants looking for a linebacker, did not love their options. They kept 5 on the 53. Was a little surprised about that. They let Deontay Johnson go. Ty Summers got banged up. He was released with an injury settlement. So they bring in a linebacker, Bozeman, 26 years old. He was a UDFA last year out of Southern Miss. Spent all of last year on the Chiefs practice squad. Spent this preseason with the Bears. He was waived back on Sunday. And last year, he played just 3 regular season games for the Chiefs with 3 tackles, playing 57 special team snaps and 7 on defense. However, Bozeman played in all 3 postseason games, including 2 special teams tackles in the Super Bowl. So he definitely had some good experience moments there. Now, McMorris, another safety. This is depth. You know, the Giants might have a carousel with that 4th safety. Hopefully, Brade is the guy for the whole season. But if he's not, and if there's an injury, I'd expect to see McMorris elevated before Raheem Lane. McMorris, 2024 6th-round pick out of Cal, by the Miami Dolphins. Spent most of last year on injured reserve. He was activated in late November. Played in 6 games, 1 tackle, 97 special team snaps with 8 defensive snaps. Those first 11 games that he missed were due to a foot injury. And in the 2025 preseason, he balled out. He had 5 tackles and a pick, was waived by the Dolphins on Tuesday. This is another guy who is a well-disciplined player. So interested to see what each of these 2 players bring to the table. Now some unfortunate news for the Giants. They lost one of their 7th-round rookies. They released Corey Black from the 53. I believe it was on Wednesday. And he decided to sign with the Jets practice squad after clearing waivers. Definitely an interesting scenario there. Not ideal. You know, the Giants were looking to keep him around, but on the practice squad, I guess Black didn't like that. He'd rather be with the Jets where there's more opportunity. You know, on the Giants, you're sitting behind a Debo, Banks, Flott, Phillips, Art Green, a lot of guys, Nick Jones. So, I mean, I guess it makes sense. I don't know. Good luck to him. Black only played 14 snaps in the preseason. He was dealing with an injury, and the Giants currently only one cornerback is on the practice squad, and D. Williams, so that's definitely interesting. Giants add 3 more practice squad players to fill out their practice squad for now on Friday. They signed linebacker Zaire Barnes from the Jets, kind of like a little payback there. Barnes was a 2023 6th-round pick out of Western Michigan, 25 years old, played in 4 games as a rookie, but missed the entirety of last season, 2024, with an ankle injury. The Jets waived Barnes this past Wednesday. He had 10 tackles in the preseason. So Barnes now entering year 3 in the NFL. We'll see what he can do. And, yeah, I mean, I think he's a decent practice squad body to have, him and Bozeman there. Good depth, good versatility. You know, they could challenge Demetrius Flanagan-Fulls for a roster spot at some point. Giants also signed offensive lineman McClendon Curtis. He was one of the 3 players the Giants signed after the workouts they had on Thursday. McClendon, big boy, 6'6", 330, just 25 years old. He was released during the roster cut down by the Cardinals, but he's already been around the block. He started his career as a UDFA with the Raiders when Con Brasillo was their offensive line coach. Curtis played in 5 games over the past 2 seasons for the Seahawks. But entering year 3, we'll see what McClendon Curtis could do on the Giants practice squad. He joins Jake Kubis and Brian Hudson as the 3rd offensive lineman on Big Blue's practice squad. Also, the Giants, after losing Greg Dulcich to the Dolphins practice squad, they signed Kadir Ishmael, who was part of that massive group of players working out earlier this week. Big boy at 6'6", 232, 25 years old. They decided to bring in a guy with a little bit more footing on himself than UDFA Jermaine Terry. They decided to not bring him back on the practice squad. Ishmael was waived by the Raiders this past Monday, signed as a UDFA with the Ravens in 2024, and spent most of last year on their practice squad. So after the 4 tight ends on the 53, Ishmael joins the practice squad. Giants did release UDFA Trace Ford from the practice squad. A little disappointing. He flashed a little bit in preseason. Wish him nothing but the best. It'll be left to be seen if the Giants do bring him back at some point. So, folks, that's it for now. Let me know what you think in the comments section below if you like any of these moves in particular that the Giants made to fill out the back end of their 53-man roster and the practice squad. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, smash the like button as well, give us a thumbs up, ring the bell for notifications. Appreciate you all. Drop a comment, let us know your thoughts below, and check us out on all of our socials. My name is Tom, and without further ado, let's go Big Blue.